Welcome to the Reality Revolution. Today we're talking about the secrets of how to use affirmations to manifest. There has been an ongoing debate for decades about the proper way to manifest. And within this, there is an ongoing argument about using affirmations. I meet people that say that affirmations don't work, that they can actually hurt you. And many people have said they simply don't work. You don't really believe it. It doesn't do the things that you're saying. This is an argument that's gone on between different New Thought scholars and authors. I'm here to tell you that affirmations absolutely work. They changed my life. When I was at my lowest point, when I had lost everything, when I was an alcoholic, in deep debt, I'd lost the love of my life, I lost my family, there was no hope for me. If you knew me at that time, you would say, he's probably got a few months to live. I couldn't properly visualize at all. I was so down and so depressed, I couldn't sit there and even for a second imagine anything. So I started using affirmations. And every time I used it, it worked. I would try every single method. If it was writing it down 1,000 times, or saying the same affirmation for 30 minutes straight, I would chant them like magic spells. I would say them over and over and over again. When I was driving, instead of listening to music, I would just say the affirmation over and over. I was completely broke, about to lose everything, and I could not visualize my prosperity. I simply couldn't. But after watching Robert Proctor, I just started saying, money comes to me easily and quickly. Money comes to me easily and quickly. Money comes to me easily and quickly. The universe was always exact with the affirmation. I'd receive 10 cents, receive it right away. I'd find it on the street, or I'd find $1, and I was getting the money quickly. But then I thought, well, geez, this is not enough. And then I would say, large sums of money come to me easily and quickly. And sure enough, large amounts of money would come to me in the same way that I would find that 10 cents on the street. I'd be sick, and I would say, I am healed. I would say it, I would believe it, and I would heal. As I began to tune in to my greater power, as I began to meditate, I began to become aware of the power of affirmations. And every step of the way, it has helped me to change my life, to reprogram my subconscious mind, to change the way I believe in things. I simply could not have achieved any of my success. I could not have lived out any of my dreams if I had not used affirmations. So when I hear people say, yeah, affirmations don't work, try this, I disagree. Affirmations absolutely work. Let's start with the most profound truth in existence. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The universe itself was spoken into existence. Light didn't just gradually emerge, it was commanded, let there be light, and there was light. Matter, energy, space, time, all of it came into being through the power of divine speech. This is the blueprint of reality. The Hebrew word bara, meaning to create, specifically refers to creating something from nothing through divine utterance. Every star, every planet, every quantum particle exists because consciousness spoke it into form. The Big Bang wasn't just an explosion. It was the ultimate affirmation, the first and most powerful declaration that set everything in motion. When we look at quantum physics, we see this same principle. The observer effect shows us that consciousness affects reality at the subatomic level. Particles exist in probability states until consciousness collapses them into specific realities. Your awareness, your focused intention, your spoken word. They are not separate from the creative force of the universe. They are the creative force of the universe expressing through you. What most people miss about affirmations is that you're not trying to convince some external deity to grant you wishes, and you're not trying to convince yourself, you're not lying yourself into existence, you're not begging the universe for scraps. You are exercising the same creative power that brought the cosmos into existence. The same divine consciousness that spoke galaxies into being is the same consciousness looking through your eyes right now. When you affirm, you're not hoping something might happen. You're declaring what is happening from the perspective of your divine nature. Every word you speak with intention and feeling is a creative command that reality must obey, because you are not separate from the source of all creation. You are that source, individualized and expressing through this unique point of consciousness you call yourself. If the infinite intelligence that created over 2 trillion galaxies is the same intelligence operating as your consciousness right now, what could possibly be impossible for you? What limitation could actually be real when you're connected to unlimited power? The only question is whether you're going to use this power consciously or unconsciously, deliberately or randomly, because you will use it. This is why Jesus said, "Greater works than these shall you do." This is why mystics throughout history have pointed to your divine nature. This is why quantum physics keeps revealing the consciousness is a fundamental to reality. Now, most approaches to affirmations completely miss the foundation. They treat affirmations like wishful thinking with better vocabulary. They focus on convincing yourself that something might be true rather than declaring what is true from your highest perspective. They approach affirmations from lack, trying to get something they don't have, rather than from abundance, expressing what they already are in consciousness. Traditional affirmation methods often feel forced, repetitive, even fake, because they're coming from the wrong level of understanding. When you truly grasp that you're not trying to change external circumstances, but rather aligning your conscious awareness with a reality that already exists in the quantum field of infinite possibilities, everything changes. The new understanding transforms affirmations from hope-based activities to power-based declarations. You're not affirming to creation, you're affirming as creation. You're not requesting reality to change, you're announcing the reality you're now choosing to experience from your position as a conscious creator. So I want to give you a new framework for working with the creative power of your word. You'll understand why certain words carry exponentially more power than others, why timing matters at a quantum level, and how to program your subconscious mind like a master programmer, and how to use the deepest states of consciousness to reshape your entire reality. This is not about getting better at affirmations. This is about stepping into your role as a conscious creator and wielding the same power that brought the universe into existence through your words. We need to understand how the masters of manifestation have approached the power of the word throughout history. Each brought profound insights, but also had limitations that we can transcend by understanding the complete picture. Neville Goddard was absolutely brilliant, one of the greatest mystics of the 20th century. His understanding of imagination as God was revolutionary, and his teaching that we are the operant power was transformative for millions. But what most people don't realize, Neville was working with people who had exceptional imaginative abilities, and he was exceptionally imaginative. Neville could effortlessly slip into vivid imaginal scenes, feel them as completely real, and maintain that feeling until it hardened into fact. He was a master visualizer, working with other naturally gifted visualizers. His techniques require advanced imaginative fluency in many ways. It took me a long time to develop that kind of fluency. What about everyone else? Do you have to be an imaginal expert or master in order to manifest? What about the millions of people who struggle to visualize clearly? What about those whose minds are more analytical than imaginative? What about people who can't sustain vivid mental images? Absolutely not. This is where affirmations become the great democratizer of manifestation. Neville did teach that affirmations work. He did explain and give stories of someone who sat in their bathtub and said, "Something wonderful is happening for me now." And this works amazingly well. Neville did say that in many cases, it was vain repetition, utilizing Jesus' own teaching in explaining that if you just repeat something over and over again, it's not going to work. There has to be more added to it. He also occasionally used what he called assumptive phrases, short statements that implied the wish fulfilled. He would teach that you would imagine exactly what you want, and then you would put it into a short phrase like, "Isn't it wonderful?" And then whenever you said, "Isn't it wonderful?" it captured the imaginal essence of what you had been imagining. One of the biggest misconceptions that stops people from using affirmations comes from misunderstanding Jesus' teaching about vain repetition. In Matthew 6:7, he says, "But when ye pray, use not vain repetition as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking." Most people read this as Jesus condemning repetitive prayer or affirmation. But look deeper. The word is vain, empty, meaningless, without power or feeling. Jesus wasn't condemning repetition. He was teaching us how to make repetition powerful rather than empty. What makes repetition vain? Speaking words without consciousness, without feeling, without the awareness of your divine authority. Mindlessly chanting without connecting to the creative power behind the words. Repeating affirmations from a place of desperation or doubt or lack, rather than from knowing your divine nature. Jesus himself used repetitive prayer. In the Garden of Gethsemane, he prayed the same prayer 3 times with such intensity that he sweat blood. The Lord's Prayer is a repetitive template. Ask and it shall be given implies ongoing, repeated asking until you receive. The real teaching is this: make your repetition conscious, powerful, and filled with the awareness of who you are as a divine creator, not in vain. When you affirm from that place, repetition becomes a sacred practice that rewrites reality. You're not engaging in vain repetition, you're engaging in divine decree. Dr. Joseph Murphy understood something that most manifestation teachers miss. The subconscious mind is like a fertile garden that will grow whatever seeds you plant through repetition. His book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, remains one of my favorite guides to mental programming ever written. Be sure to check out my reading of this book. Murphy discovered that the subconscious doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. More importantly, he found that through systematic repetition of properly constructed affirmations, you could bypass the conscious mind's resistance and implant new beliefs directly into the subconscious programming. He repeatedly advised repeating the Psalms over and over again and created the most beautiful prayers. Be sure to check out my Joseph Murphy Meditations, Calling to the Divine, where I read some of these prayers. His method was beautifully simple. Repeat your affirmation in a relaxed state, preferably just before sleep when the conscious mind's defenses are down. Feel the truth of the words. Continue this practice until the new belief becomes automatic. Murphy proved that you didn't need years of therapy or complex techniques. Just the disciplined use of repetitive affirmation could transform anyone's life. Probably the most effective way to use affirmations is to repeat it as you're going to sleep to where you do not remember stopping the repetition. Now, if you're sleeping with someone else, You can whisper it to yourself or listen to affirmations in a sleep meditation. What Murphy brought to affirmations was a sort of scientific precision. He studied exactly how long it takes to establish new neural pathways, the optimal states of consciousness for programming, and the specific language patterns that penetrate the subconscious most effectively. He turned affirmations from wishful thinking into a precise technology of consciousness. The New Thought movement gave us another powerful approach, the spiritual mind treatment. These are longer, structured affirmational prayers, sometimes several paragraphs, that follow a specific format: recognition of divine power, unification with that power, realization of the desired outcome, gratitude, and release. A treatment isn't just an affirmation, it's a complete shift in consciousness. You begin by acknowledging the infinite intelligence and perfect power that governs all creation. Then you recognize that the same power is operating as you, through you, and for you right now. From that elevated state of awareness, you declare the perfect outcome, not as something you're trying to create, but as something that already exists in the divine mind and is now manifesting in your experience. The genius of treatments is that they don't start from the problem. They start from the solution that already exists in consciousness. They train you to think from the end result rather than current circumstances. They're like extended affirmations that shift your entire vibrational state before declaring that desired outcome. Ernest Holmes, founder of the Science of Mind, called these treatments spiritual communion with the Absolute. You're not trying to convince God of anything. You're aligning your consciousness with the divine pattern that already exists for your perfect life. Each of these approaches, Neville's imagination, Jesus' conscious prayer, Murphy's subconscious programming, and New Thought treatments, brought essential pieces of the puzzle. Let's explore the different forms affirmations can take. This is your complete toolkit. Each technique has its own energetic signature and optimal use. Most people know about basic positive statements, but there's an entire spectrum of word-based creation that is available to you. First, there's decrees versus declarations. Understanding the difference between decrees and declarations helps you to operate at a completely different energy level and serve different purposes. A declaration is a statement of what is becoming true. If you announce your intention in calling forth a new reality, when you declare, I am wealthy, I am healthy, or I am loved, you're establishing a new trajectory in consciousness. Declarations have an energy of movement. They're setting the wheels of creation in motion. Declarations work beautifully when you're in the process of shifting from one reality to another. They help bridge the gap between where you are and where you're going. They're perfect for daily practice because they maintain forward momentum without creating resistance. The energy is hopeful, expectant, and actively creative. A decree is a command from your highest authority. It's not announcing what's becoming, it's declaring what is, with the full power of divine consciousness behind it. When you decree, wealth flows to me now, perfect health is mine, or I am surrounded by love, you're not starting a process. You're stating an absolute truth from your God self. Decrees carry the energy of absolute authority. They don't ask, they don't hope, they don't try. They command reality to align with divine truth. Use decrees when you've fully connected with your divine nature and can speak with complete inner authority. They're incredibly powerful, but require you to be in a high state of consciousness to be effective. The key is to match your technique to your current state. If you're feeling uncertain or just beginning to shift a belief, start with a declaration. Once you've built momentum and can feel your power, move to decrees. Both are valid. They're just different frequencies of the same creative force. Neville had a technique that most people overlook, but it's absolutely revolutionary, condensing your entire desire into a single word or phrase that you repeat until it becomes automatic in consciousness. Think about it. Your subconscious doesn't process language the way your conscious mind does. It responds to symbols, feelings, and concentrated meaning. A single power word or phrase can carry more transformative energy than a paragraph of affirmations if you know how to charge it properly. Let's say you want to manifest perfect health. Instead of long affirmations about healing, and vitality, you might choose the single word whole. You repeat this word whole, whole, until it becomes like a song stuck in your head. Every time it surfaces in consciousness, it carries the complete feeling and assumption of perfect wholeness. For wealth, you might use prosperity. For love, perhaps beloved. This is incredibly powerful because it's portable. You can repeat your power word anywhere in traffic while walking during meditation without remembering everything about it. Start with one power word or phrase. While single words are powerful, sacred phrases, short, memorable affirmations that become like personal prayers, create a different kind of magic. The most effective sacred phrase has several characteristics. It's short enough to memorize easily, and they feel true and powerful. When you speak them, they imply the wish fulfilled, and they generate positive emotion. Think of them as your personal collection of reality-shifting mantras. Some examples are, all things work together for my good. I am divinely guided and protected. Miracles are natural occurrences in my life. I'm worthy of all my heart desires. I create my reality with every thought. What makes these sacred is you don't just repeat them mechanically. Each phrase becomes a doorway into a state of consciousness. When you say all things work together for my good, you're not just hoping it's true, you're entering the awareness of someone whom this is absolutely unquestionably true. I recommend building a collection of 5 to 7 of your own sacred phrases that inspire you, that light you up, that cover your main life areas. Write them down, memorize them completely, and practice them until they become second nature. These become your spiritual armor, instant access to elevated states of consciousness. I think it's good to look at affirmations as spellcasting. And what is a spell? It's the intentional use of words, emotion, and focused consciousness to influence reality. When you craft an affirmation, choose your words carefully, charge them with feeling, and repeat them with focused intention, which is what I'm trying to teach you to do with affirmations. You're casting a spell. The only difference is that you're using this power for good, for creation, for blessing rather than manipulation. Every word you speak is actually a spell. The question is whether you're casting spells consciously or unconsciously. Whether you're creating or destroying, whether you're blessing or cursing your reality. When you understand affirmations as conscious spellcasting, everything changes. You become incredibly intentional about your word choice. You realize that certain words carry exponentially more creative power than others. Here's how to approach affirmation as conscious spellcasting. Choose your words as carefully as a poet. Every word carries specific vibrations and associations. Every word you say has power. I am prosperous creates different energy than I am rich or I am wealthy. Feel into the words and choose the ones that resonate most powerfully for you. Charge your words with emotion. Dead words create dead results. Your feeling is what gives the spell its power. When you say your affirmation, you want to feel it reverberating through every cell of your body. Create a ritual around your practice. It's sacred work. Set aside special times, create a dedicated space, maybe light a candle or play special music. The ritual signals to your subconscious mind that something important is happening. The next step is to understand the I am and you are differential. In ancient Hebrew, the name of God, I am that I am. This isn't just religious language, it's the ultimate creative formula. When you speak I am, followed by anything, I am that, you're invoking the same creative power that brought the universe into existence. I am is the most powerful phrase in any language because it directly programs your identity at the deepest level. Your subconscious mind takes whatever follows, I am, as absolute truth about who you are. This is why ancient mystics warned about using this phrase carelessly. When you say, I am tired, or I'm not good enough, you're commanding your reality to arrange itself around those identities. But when you consciously use I am to declare empowering truths, I am abundant, I am worthy, I am powerful, you're speaking with the voice of creation itself. The key is understanding that I am doesn't describe your current circumstance. It declares your true nature. When you say, I am abundant, while your bank account shows otherwise, you're not lying. You're speaking from your highest identity and commanding your reality to align with that truth. There are, of course, infinite examples of I am affirmations that are transformational. I am the divine expressing in human form. I'm living my highest purpose. I am connected to infinite wisdom. I'm a powerful creator. And while the I am affirmation programs your identity, you are affirmations spoken to yourself in the mirror create even deeper transformations in many cases. This technique, pioneered by Louise Hay, works because you're having a conversation with your subconscious self. When you look in the mirror and say, you are beautiful, you are loved, you are capable of anything, you're speaking directly to the part of yourself that needs to hear these truths the most. This creates healing in the deepest levels because you're giving yourself the love and validation you may never have received. Mirror work with you are affirmations can feel incredibly uncomfortable at first. You might feel silly, emotional, or resistant. This discomfort is actually valuable. It shows you exactly where your self-love needs healing. The places where you feel most resistance are the places where you are affirmations will create the most transformation. Start with simple, accepting you are statements. Look in the mirror and say, you're doing your best. You are worthy of love. You are enough. You are safe. You are growing and learning every day. Then progress to more powerful declarations. You are a magnificent being of light. You are capable of creating miracles. You are worthy of having all your dreams come true. You are loved beyond measure. You are here for a divine purpose. The most transformational approach combines both I am and you are affirmations in a single practice. Start with I am statements to claim your divine identity, then switch to you are statements for deep self-love programming. So you might say, I am divine creative power in human form. You are so loved and appreciated. I am worthy of unlimited abundance. You are capable of achieving anything you desire. I am living my highest purpose. You are exactly where you need to be right now. This works because you're programming both your conscious identity and your subconscious self-relationship simultaneously. You're becoming someone who naturally expects good things while also healing any self-criticism or doubt that could block these good things from manifesting. Take this even deeper by understanding when you speak I am, you are speaking the name of God through your voice. This isn't blasphemy, it's the recognition of your divine nature. When it says, don't take the Lord's name in vain, take that seriously. Every I am statement is a prayer, a decree, and a command all rolled into one. Similarly, when you speak you are to yourself in the mirror, you're God speaking to God, love speaking to love, the universe having a conversation with itself. This sacred understanding transforms affirmation work from technique to worship, from self-improvement to self-recognition. The most profound I am affirmation you can speak is simply I am. No qualifier needed. In those two words, you are declaring your eternal existence as consciousness itself. Everything else, all prosperity, love, health, and joy, naturally flows from this foundational truth. Understanding the mechanics of how your mind processes and integrates new information transforms how you approach this practice. Your subconscious mind operates like a vast filing system of beliefs, and every belief is essentially a neural pathway that's been strengthened through repetition. Think of belief as superhighways in your brain. The more you've thought a particular thought, the more automatic and deeply grooved that pathway becomes. Your subconscious doesn't care whether a belief is true or false, helpful or harmful. It simply accepts whatever you've repeated most often with the most emotional intensity. If you've told yourself, I'm not good enough, 1,000 times with strong negative emotions, that becomes a superhighway. If you've repeatedly thought money is hard to come by, while feeling stress and frustration, that pathway gets reinforced every single time. But here's the breakthrough. Neuroplasticity research shows that you can rewire these pathways at any age. When you consciously repeat a new thought pattern, with emotional intensity, you begin building a new pathway. At first, it's like cutting a small trail through a dense forest, but with constant repetition, that trail becomes a path, the path becomes a road, and eventually the road becomes a superhighway. When your mind believes, when your subconscious is reprogrammed, you begin to create the reality behind those beliefs. And that's why it's the most powerful method of manifesting. Affirmations work by systematically installing new belief pathways while allowing the old limiting ones to weaken through disuse. Every time you affirm, I am worthy of abundance with genuine feeling, you lay down new tracks. The key is you're not trying to force your subconscious to believe something foreign. You're strategically replacing one set of repeated thoughts with another set of repeated thoughts. The subconscious responds to consistency and emotional charge. It doesn't distinguish between old and new programming. It follows whatever pathway is strongest. So what we're trying to do is create strong pathways. There's a 3-stage process. Effective subconscious programming follows these 3 stages. Stage 1 is recognition. Before you can reprogram a limiting belief, you must become consciously aware of it. Most limiting beliefs operate below the threshold of conscious awareness. They're so automatic you don't even know about them. You just experience their effects, feeling unworthy, struggling with money, having difficulty in relationships. Maybe you're sick or diseased. The recognition stage involves catching these automatic thoughts in action. When you notice yourself feeling stuck or limited, you ask, what am I believing right now that's creating this feeling? Listen for the automatic thoughts running in the background. They might sound like, I'm not smart enough. Good things don't happen to me. I'm not attractive enough. I'm too old. Write these limiting beliefs down, make them conscious. You can't reprogram what you're not aware of. The second stage is repetition. This is where most people start, but without stage 1, the repetition feels forced and inauthentic. Once you've identified the specific limiting belief, you create its positive opposite and begin systematic repetition. Here's where the crucial part. The repetition must be consistent enough and emotionally charged enough to compete with the old pattern. If you thought I'm not good enough 10,000 times over your lifetime, saying I'm good enough 10 times isn't going to overwrite this programming. This is why Joseph Murphy recommended affirming just before sleep and upon waking. These are the times when your conscious mind's resistance is lowest and your subconscious is most receptive. This is why he emphasized feeling the truth of your affirmation rather than just mechanically repeating the words. The repetition stage requires loving persistence. You're not forcing anything, you're gently but consistently offering your subconscious a new option. The third stage is the stage where the old limiting belief begins to feel foreign and the new empowering belief becomes automatic. You'll notice this happening when the affirmation starts to feel natural rather than forced, when you catch yourself thinking the new thought without conscious effort, and when your behavior and circumstances begin shifting to match the new beliefs. The replacement stage can be gradual or immediate. You might notice the old limiting thought still comes up, but it doesn't have the same emotional charge, or you might find yourself naturally thinking more positive thoughts throughout the day. Understanding the science helps us identify why most people struggle with affirmations. Using language feels too far from your current reality creates subconscious resistance. You're using the wrong words. If you're struggling financially, affirming, I'm a millionaire, might trigger your mind's defense systems. Better to use bridge affirmations like I am open to receiving abundance, or money flows to me easily and naturally. Affirming when your conscious mind is fully active and analytical creates internal conflict. The best times are when you are in a relaxed, receptive state, just before sleep, upon awaking, and during meditation. Even in my affirmation videos, I always give a little bit of time at the beginning to get into a relaxed state. You must be in a relaxed state. The biggest mistake is affirming from a place of lack, desperation, or doubt. If you're saying, I'm wealthy, while feeling poor and desperate, you are reinforcing the feeling of lack with repetition, and it could make things worse. And in those cases, affirmations can be dangerous. The emotion attached to the words is what programs the subconscious, not the words themselves. In some ways, vague affirmations create vague results. Instead of "things are getting better," be specific. "My health is perfect. I attract loving relationships. My business thrives." Expecting overnight results and giving up after a few days or weeks is always a mistake. Do not be impatient. Patience is a virtue. Typically takes 21 to 66 days of consistent practice to establish a new habit pattern and to allow the universe to shift. Yes, I have a number of 24-hour videos, 3-hour videos, 1-hour videos, and it is possible to shift instantaneously, and we're moving closer to that. But we are battling with years and years of beliefs. So if you can be consistent, you will find greater change. Here's the most important scientific principle about affirmations. The subconscious mind is programmed by emotion, not by logic. Words without feeling are just noise. Words with powerful emotion become commands that reshape your entire reality. Neuroscience shows us that emotional memories are processed by the amygdala and have direct access to long-term storage, bypassing the critical thinking centers of the brain. When you combine an affirmation with strong positive emotion, joy, gratitude, love, excitement, you're creating flashbulb memories that get instantly and permanently encoded. This is why you remember exactly where you were during emotionally significant events, but you can't remember what you had for lunch 3 days ago. Emotion is the brain's way of saying, "This is important. Remember this permanently." When you affirm "I am loved" while feeling the warm glow of being surrounded by love, you're not just repeating words, you're installing a new emotional reality. When you say "I am successful" while feeling the thrill of achievement, you're programming your nervous system to expect and create success. The key is to generate the feeling first, then speak the words from the emotional state. Don't try to create the feeling with the words. Create the feeling through memory, imagination, or gratitude. Then let the words ride on that emotion wave into your subconscious programming. When you combine scientifically based perspectives with emotionally charged words, you're using the same mechanisms that installed your current programming to install new empowering programming. You're becoming a neuroplasticity expert, consciously reshaping your own brain to support the reality you want to experience. Picture this, it's 1985 and a struggling young comedian sits in his beat-up Toyota on Mulholland Drive overlooking the lights of Los Angeles. He's broke, getting rejected at every audition, and directors won't even look at him twice. But this young man does something that would have had his friends questioning his sanity. He writes himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered and dates it Thanksgiving 1995. For 10 years, Jim Carrey carried the deteriorating check in his wallet, repeating his affirmation daily. "I am a great actor. I will be a huge success. Directors are interested in me." Every night, he would drive to that same spot on Mulholland Drive and visualize directors wanting to work with him. Then just before Thanksgiving 1995, exactly when he had dated that check, Jim Carrey found out he would be paid exactly $10 million for his role in Dumb and Dumber. Not $9 million, not $11, exactly $10 million. Long before Muhammad Ali held a single championship belt, he was declaring to anyone who would listen, "I am the greatest." People thought he was arrogant, delusional, but Ali understood something profound about the creative power of words. Ali himself said, "It's the repetition of affirmations that leads to belief, and once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen." He called his visualization practice future history, mentally rehearsing every fight in his mind many times before stepping into the ring. He would see himself at the end of each fight with his arms aloft, hearing the crowd chanting his name, the referee declaring him the winner. Ali would predict which round he would win each fight, and he was right. So often it became legendary. Perhaps the most documented case of affirmation power belongs to Louise Hay herself, the woman who created Hay House, who created the modern affirmation movement. In 1977, Louise was diagnosed with incurable cervical cancer. The doctors wanted immediate surgery followed by chemotherapy and anti-cancer medication. Louise had a different plan. She had been working as a religious science practitioner, leading people in spoken affirmations to heal their illnesses. Now it was time to test her own teachings instead of conventional treatment. Louise developed an intense program centered on one core practice, standing in front of her mirror for hours each day, speaking thousands of affirmations directly to her body. "I love and appreciate every cell in my body," she would repeat. "My body knows how to heal itself perfectly." She immersed herself in positive self-talk, telling her body repeatedly how much she loved it, thanked it, respected it, and appreciated it. She combined this with forgiveness work, releasing decades of anger and resentment from childhood trauma. For 3 months, Louise stood at that mirror, affirming her body back to health. She spoke every cell with love and appreciation. She released the emotional patterns she believed had contributed to the cancer's formation. She programmed her mind for perfect health through consistent, loving repetition. When she returned to her doctors, they were speechless. The cancerous lump had completely dissolved. No trace remained. Louise went on to write You Can Heal Your Life, which became one of the best-selling self-help books of all time, with over 50 million copies sold worldwide. But what makes this story so powerful for our understanding, she didn't just think positive thoughts or hope for healing. She used the precise methodology we've been discussing: systematic mirror work, emotional programming, identity-level affirmations, and unwavering consistency. She spoke to her body as divine consciousness speaking to divine form. Louise later said that her cancer healing wasn't just about the affirmations, it was about learning to love herself completely. The affirmations were the vehicle that taught her how to speak to herself with the voice of unconditional love. Before Stephanie Germanotta became Lady Gaga, she was a struggling artist with big dreams. But she had a radical approach to affirmation. She said, "Music is my life. The fame is inside of me. I'm going to make a #1 record with #1 hits, and it's not yet. It's a lie. You're saying a lie over and over again, and then one day the lie is true." Lady Gaga used specific words to literally trick her brain into thinking she was already famous. She focused on what she wanted to become rather than where she was. She understood that affirmations work by creating new neural pathways, and she was willing to lie to her current reality until the lie became the truth. By now you should understand the power of affirmations, and you should see the proof. This is not about casually repeating nice words when you remember to. It's about strategic consciousness programming that leverages the exact moments when your brain is most receptive to new information. Your brain has specific times when it's in optimal states for receiving and integrating new programming. The first 20 minutes after you wake up are pure gold for affirmation work. Your brain is transitioning from sleep theta waves into waking consciousness, creating a natural hypnotic state. And if the first thing that you're doing is just grabbing your phone in a theta state, reading the news, no wonder your life seems so chaotic. This is when Louise Hay did her most powerful mirror work. This is when your subconscious is still accessible, still malleable, still open to receiving new instructions. Whenever you're in a deeply relaxed state during meditation, right after exercise in a warm bath, during massage, your brain produces alpha waves. Alpha is the bridge between conscious and subconscious, making it perfect for affirmations. This is why Joseph Murphy recommended affirming while relaxed. Your conscious mind's defenses are down, but you're still aware enough to direct your focus. Use these moments to repeat your core affirmations with feeling and intention. My good friend Stephen Barnes recommends doing affirmations while in motion, while exercising, doing weight movements, doing dramatic movements. The process of moving seems to integrate the affirmation more deeply into your subconscious mind. The 20 minutes before you fall asleep are the golden time. As your brain transitions into theta and delta, you enter the hypnagogic state. That drowsy, dreamlike consciousness where suggestion becomes incredibly potent. This is when you plant the seeds that will grow in your subconscious all night long. The last thoughts you think before sleep become the foundation for your subconscious processing during the night. Your brain will spend 6 to 8 hours organizing and integrating whatever you program during this window. Anytime you're engaged in repetitive, automatic activities, walking, driving, exercising, your conscious mind goes into a light trance state. This creates another perfect window for affirmations. Your body's occupied with automatic tasks, so your mind is free to focus on internal programming. This is why so many breakthroughs come during walks or showers. Use these times to repeat your affirmations rhythmically, letting them sink in with your movement. What most people miss the greater opportunity for transformation is the 8 hours they are unconscious every night. Sleep affirmations are exponentially more powerful when done while sleeping. During sleep, your conscious mind is completely offline. There's no analytical interference, no doubt, no resistance. It's what I needed to really change my subconscious. The repetition, night after night, 8 hours of the same affirmations, it worked for me perfectly. A single affirmation repeated during 8 hours of sleep gets thousands of repetitions with zero conscious effort. Your subconscious hears and processes every single repetition, even though you're not consciously aware of it. This creates incredibly deep programming that bypasses all mental resistance. Record yourself speaking your core affirmations clearly and with feeling. Set the recording to loop continuously through the night at a volume just barely audible. You should be able to hear it if you focus, but it shouldn't disturb your sleep. The ultimate goal is to make your affirmations so automatic they run in the background of your consciousness without any effort. There's a reason why I have so many large sums of money videos and so many large sums of money meditations, because the repetition has now created it so that when I meet people, they can say the affirmation by memory. They will say, "I'm so happy and grateful now that large sums of money come to me easily and quickly in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis in the best interest of all that I get to keep, give, spend, and invest joyfully." Choose 3 to 5 core affirmations and create a rhythmic pattern for repeating them. This could sync with your heartbeat, your breathing, or your walking pace. Don't just memorize the words, memorize the feeling state that goes with each affirmation. When you think "I'm worthy of unlimited abundance," you want to automatically access the feeling of being worthy and abundant. Weave your memorized affirmations into routine activities. While brushing your teeth, I love and approve of myself. While washing dishes, I attract abundance effortlessly. While climbing stairs, I'm strong and capable. Start with simple, believable affirmations and gradually escalate to more powerful ones as your subconscious accepts the programming. Begin with "I am open to receiving abundance" and progress to "I am a magnet for unlimited wealth." I recommend structuring your affirmations to automatically prompt specific visualizations. Instead of "I am successful," you might try "I see myself achieving my goals with joy and ease." Instead of "I am healthy," use "I feel energy flowing through every cell of my perfect body." Include sensory details in your affirmations to make them more vivid and compelling. "I feel the warm satisfaction of financial security. I hear the congratulations as I achieve my dreams." The more senses you engage, the more real the experience becomes to your subconscious. Use affirmations to create what feels like memories of achieving your desires. "I remember how amazed I felt when prosperity started flowing to me. I can still feel the excitement from when my dream became reality." This leverages the brain's tendency to treat vivid, emotionally charged scenarios as actual experiences. Neuroscience research shows it takes approximately 21 days of consistent practice to begin forming new neural pathways. For the first 21 days, you're breaking ground on new neurological territory. These first 21 days require daily practice. Missing days during this initial period is like starting over. Your brain needs consistent repetition to establish the new pathways. And while 21 days begins the process, research from University College of London shows that it takes 66 days for new behavior to become automatic. This is when your affirmations stop requiring conscious effort and start running in the background of your mind. That's 2 months. If you could have all your dreams given to you in just 2 months, 66 days, your new thought patterns become strong enough to compete with your old programming. I know that sounds like a lot. And yes, I've seen transformations occur in less time, but that's what the science is telling us. For maximum subconscious penetration, you need a minimum of 15 minutes of focused affirmation work per day, broken into strategic sessions. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 midday, 7 to 10 at night. It corresponds with your brain's natural receptivity cycles. Less than 15 total won't create enough neural activation for lasting change. More than 30 minutes can create mental fatigue and diminish effectiveness. Beyond your core programming sessions, scatter 30 to 60 second micro sessions throughout your day. Brief affirmation bursts during transitional moments. Walk into the car, waiting for coffee, before entering meetings. Create constant reinforcement without overwhelming your system. It's better to do 10 minutes of highly focused, emotionally charged affirmations than 30 minutes of distracted, mechanical repetition. Your subconscious responds to emotional intensity, not just time spent. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to affirm for everything at once. Your subconscious works better with clear, focused instructions rather than scattered requests. When you're dealing with a specific challenge or major life change, concentrated focus on one primary affirmation for 30 to 60 days will create faster, deeper results than spreading your energy across multiple affirmations. The method you use to deliver your affirmation creates different neurological responses. When you speak affirmations aloud, you activate multiple brain regions simultaneously. Broca's area, speech production, auditory cortex, hearing, and the motor cortex, physical articulation. This multi-regional activation creates stronger neural encoding than single pathway methods. I think it's effective to write down affirmations, and for some people it's incredibly effective. Write them down. Write them down 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. If it's easier for you to write than speak aloud, then do that. Speaking engages your vagus nerve, which connects to your parasympathetic nervous system, and this is why spoken affirmations often create immediate shifts in emotional states. Writing activates different neural pathways than speaking. The physical act of forming letters engages your motor cortex in a different way, so it's good to do both. Research shows that handwriting creates more robust neural encoding than other methods, not typing. The slower, more deliberate process of forming letters by hand gives your brain more time to process and integrate the meaning of what you're writing. Written affirmations work best for deep contemplation and understanding, working through resistance, clarifying and refining your desires. Scripting is an advanced writing technique where you write your affirmations as if you're already living them, often in story form. Instead of "I am wealthy," you might write, "I woke up this morning feeling so grateful for the abundance that flows through my life." Louise Hay's signature technique of mirror work combines the benefits of spoken affirmations with visual feedback. Looking into your own eyes while speaking affirmations creates a direct connection with your subconscious self. When it comes down to it, affirmations are the best way to shift realities. Before you can shift your reality, you need to clearly identify your current reality pattern. Reality shifting begins at the identity level, not with what you want to have or do, but with who you are. Instead of "I will be successful," use "I am the type of person who naturally creates success." Your expectations create your experience. If you expect good things to happen, you notice and attract positive opportunities. Use affirmations to systematically reprogram your expectations. I expect wonderful surprises today. I expect people to be kind and helpful. I expect solutions to appear easily. Reality shifting includes changing how you interpret and respond to circumstances. Use affirmations to install new perceptual filters. I see opportunity in every situation. I find the gift in every experience. Advanced reality shifting involves programming your relationship with time itself. Use affirmations like perfect timing is my natural flow. Everything happens at exactly the right moment. This creates miraculous synchronicity as your consciousness begins aligning with optimal timing patterns. At the highest level, reality shifting affirmations connect you with quantum field consciousness. Affirmations like I am one with infinite possibilities, my consciousness shapes reality align you with quantum understanding and allow for reality shifts that seem to defy logical expectation. Traditional manifestation teaching assumes everyone can visualize like Steven Spielberg, feel emotions on command like a method actor, and maintain unwavering faith like a saint. What about the millions of people whose minds work differently? Neville Goddard's techniques are brilliant. If you can create cinema-quality mental images at will, but studies show up to 20% of people have aphantasia, little to no ability to form mental images. Traditional manifestation leaves these people feeling broken, like they're missing an essential spiritual component. Many teachings emphasize feeling as if you already have it. What if you're going through depression? What if you're naturally more analytical than emotional? Requiring people to generate specific emotional states on command creates another barrier. That's why affirmations are so powerful. Regular affirmation practice is essentially attention training. You're learning to direct your mental focus consistently toward chosen thoughts rather than allowing your mind to run on autopilot. Each time you repeat an affirmation, you're strengthening your capacity to hold positive possibilities as real. Even if you don't fully believe the affirmation, the repetition gradually builds your belief muscles. It's like physical exercise. When you first start lifting weights, you can only handle light loads, but consistent practice gradually increases your capacity. Similarly, affirmations gradually increase your capacity to believe in and expect positive outcomes. As your manifestation abilities strengthen through affirmation practice, you begin to experience more synchronicities, opportunities, and positive outcomes. These successes create momentum that makes manifestation feel increasingly natural. Many manifestation teachings inadvertently create an effort trap where people think they need to work harder to manifest faster. They strain to visualize more clearly, force themselves to feel more positive. The straining energy itself becomes a form of resistance. Affirmations work through allowance rather than effort. You're not forcing anything, you're simply allowing new programming to install gradually through repetition. Because affirmations can be integrated into your natural daily rhythms, morning routines and commute times, exercise, bedtime, they don't require setting aside special time or energy for manifestation work. They become a part of your natural flow rather than an additional burden that you have to worry about. Now it's time to put everything we've discussed into practice. I want to share some precision affirmations designed to work with your brain's natural programming mechanisms while connecting you to your divine creative power. These embody the core principles we've explored. They're designed to work for anyone, regardless of your current circumstances or specific goals. Think of these as spiritual vitamins, daily doses of empowering programming that strengthen your consciousness foundation. Say these with me. I am the divine creative power expressing through this unique form. My consciousness shapes reality with every thought I think. I speak with the authority of infinite intelligence. The same power that created the universe creates through me now. I am one with the source of all manifestation. These connect you to your highest identity as a divine creator rather than a limited human hoping for scraps. They establish your fundamental authority to command reality through your word. Say these with me. My word is law in my personal universe. What I declare with conviction becomes my experience. I decree perfect outcomes in all areas of my life. Reality reorganizes itself around my spoken intentions. I am the conscious author of my life story. These train you to speak as someone who expects to be obeyed by the forces of creation. They develop the consciousness of command rather than request. Say these with me. Life supports me in miraculous ways. Solutions appear easily in perfect timing. I attract everything I need with grace and ease. The universe conspires to fulfill my highest good. Abundance flows to me from expected and unexpected sources. These eliminate the struggle consciousness that blocks manifestation. They program you to expect support rather than resistance from life. And say these with me. My subconscious mind accepts only thoughts that serve my highest good. Every cell in my body responds to love and positive direction. I reprogram my mind for success with every conscious breath. My deeper mind creates exactly what I consistently affirm. I am becoming the person I am affirming myself to be. These work directly with your subconscious programming mechanisms, ensuring your deeper mind cooperates with your conscious intention. It's okay to say the affirmation fast and conversational, whatever works for you. Here are some emergency affirmations, short and powerful statements you can use instantly in any situation. All is well. This serves my highest good. I choose love over fear. Perfect solutions appear now. I am safe, guided, and blessed. Everything happens for my benefit. I trust the process of life. For abundance, you might say I'm a magnet for money, opportunities, and resources. Wealth flows to me through multiple streams of abundance. I deserve and receive unlimited financial prosperity. For health, you might say my body knows how to heal itself perfectly. Every cell in my body radiates perfect health. I am vibrantly healthy in mind, body, and spirit. For love, you might say I am worthy of deep, lasting love. Love flows freely to me. I attract relationships that honor my highest good. For success, you might say I am successful in everything I undertake. I have everything I need to achieve my dreams. I accomplish my goals with joy and confidence. While universal affirmations provide a strong foundation, the most powerful are those you craft specifically for your unique desires and circumstances. Start by clearly identifying what you want to change or create. Be specific about your current reality and your desired reality, then bridge the gap with affirmations that move you from where you are to where you want to be. Your current reality, I struggle financially and worry about money constantly. Your desired reality, I have abundant wealth and feel completely secure financially. The bridge affirmation is I am open to receiving abundance. Money flows to me easily. I am financially free and secure. Instead of affirming 4 things you want to have, affirm for the type of person you want to become. This creates a deeper, more lasting transformation because identity drives behavior and behavior creates results. Your most powerful personal affirmations will create an emotional response when you speak them. They should feel exciting, inspiring, or at least hopeful when you say them. If an affirmation feels flat or creates resistance, modify it until it feels alive. You have a specific affirmation that is perfect for you. Your goal is to find it. Now, what we've explored today isn't just a better way to do affirmations, it's a complete revolution in how you understand the relationship between consciousness, language, and reality itself. This paradigm shift changes everything. When you master this art, when affirmations become effortless and natural as breathing, and as powerful as prayer, your entire experience of reality transforms. Problems don't disappear entirely, but your relationship with them completely transforms. Instead of feeling like a victim, you naturally see every situation as an opportunity for growth, creativity, or blessing. Life begins to feel supportive rather than adversarial. The only question remaining is, are you ready to step in to the reality of your dreams? Are you ready to remember who you truly are through the power of your word by using affirmations? Your voice is waiting. Your consciousness is ready. You can create your own reality right now by stating it into being, by using your voice, by stating powerful affirmations that will manifest the life of your dreams. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com, and welcome to The Reality Revolution. Hello, it's Brian Scott. And I'm beyond excited to finally announce a live, in-person, 3-day event that I'm hosting in Los Angeles on November 21st through the 23rd. And when you walk away from this event, your life will be changed forever. Whatever it is that you're looking for right now, if you need to heal from something, to find the love of your life, to find wealth, to find your purpose, to ascend, to evolve, whatever that is, whatever your desire, this event is designed to bring that to you. There is a timeline available for you where you can live the very best life that you could ever imagine, where everything is always working out for you. And this event is designed to shift you into that reality and make it something tangible and real that you experience. I promise you that this will change your life.